Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Indigo Diamond here with another video, here to talk about the latest episode of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Star 7 All Winners Season. Before we get into the episode, make sure you hit the subscribe button, like the video, and tell me down below, who are you rooting for? I, as always this season, I'm still Team Jinkx all the way. So today's episode, we had the roast. So queens had to essentially write jokes and read each other to filth. Must admit, this is probably like the best roast we've had. There was only one queen that really kind of struggled, and even then she still managed to, I don't know, get a few laughs out of it. You know, it wasn't kind of like awkward, it wasn't really like cringy, it was just kind of, oh okay, yeah, she messed up. It wasn't not the worst thing. So our top two this week were Jinkx Monsoon and Trinity the Tuck. Honestly, for me, I definitely think Jinkx did the best. The other slot, there were so many queens I think could have been in there. Trinity, I was fine with her being in there because she was one of the ones I was like, you could have been in there. Raja did a very good job. The Vivienne did really well this episode. Monet even did a good job. I think that one of the things that maybe kept Monet out of the top was just sometimes it took a little bit of building up to get to the joke. Whereas people like Jinkx and Trinity kind of were just like rolling it off. But did amazingly well. You know, Raja had to go up first, and you know, we've not seen her do this sort of thing before, so it could have gone any way, and you know, she did really well. Yeah, Raja did phenomenally this episode. Jinkx just smashed it out of the park. I mean, as she said, you know, right at the start when they announced the challenge, this is one of the things that she does. This is in her wheelhouse. So we've got Trinity now up to 3 stars. Jinkx at 4 stars. Jaida still at 3 stars. Everyone else is at 2 stars, apart from Shea, who's at 1 star. We've got one episode where they can earn stars left before the finale. So not sure how that's going to go. I imagine there's going to be a twist maybe next week. But no one got blocked this week. It was very much, I think they've kind of gone, well, we've only got one episode left where you can earn a star after this point, so we don't want to block anyone. You know, no one's going to have that last opportunity to get a star and not be able to do it. So, you know, especially with like poor Shea, sat there with 1 star, and honestly, if I had my way, she would have at least had 2 stars at this point. You know, I would have given her the TLC dance pop group thing, because that week I probably would have put her and Monet in the top. So, oh god, excuse me. I honestly don't know who I want my other 4 to be. I think other 3 to be. I know I want Jinkx to be in the top, in the final 4. I don't know about the other 3. You know, because everyone else has done really well. You know, I'd love to see Jaida up there just because Jaida is so lovable, and so she's been so silly this season, which I love seeing the side of her. I think it's just great. Monet is just very good at what she does. I would happily see her up there. Trinity, she's been killing it all season. And, you know, she's also been helping people like all season as well. So, you know, Vivienne as well, you know, as much as I sometimes am not overly keen on her with like things that she says, she has been doing a really good job this season, you know. And, you know, there have been quite a few challenges where I could have easily seen her be in the top. There was a challenge I don't think she should have been in the top, but that's besides the point, because that was the one that I think Shea and Monet should have been the top 2 in. Shea Coulee, I don't know how plausible it is that she could end up in the top 4 at this point, considering we've got one more episode where they're earning stars and she's only got 1 star at the moment. But again, I would happily see Shea in the final because, as with everyone else, she's been doing really well this season. Raja, again, there have been multiple times where I think she should have been in the top. Well, she should have or could have been in the top 2. And, yeah, I think, I mean, Yvie's growing on me. I must admit, for the sort of like first half of the competition, I was kind of like really like, you're just not giving me what I feel like I need. And then she got given a star, and there was that kind of point where she was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get another star, and it's like, well, yeah, but you didn't really like earn the first star, you got given it. But I mean, it's the same with Jaida. Jaida's on 3 stars. She only earned 2 of them, but I don't know. But no, I mean, Yvie's been growing on me. Yvie did okay in the roast. It was a bit slower. It wasn't kind of like joke, joke, joke. It was kind of like, joke, joke. So I can see why she didn't end up in the top 2 this episode. But the runway for this episode was amazing. So the runway theme was glow up. Essentially, they had an outfit that had to like glow or like light up essentially. Yvie's I absolutely loved. She did like mushrooms that obviously glowed, which looked beautiful. It's one of those things, it's one of those natural things that always looks really beautiful. They've done Pokemon that based on mushrooms that glow, which looks beautiful. Trinity did very like Las Vegas sort of like carnival sort of thing. It was so over the top, it was beautiful. Vivienne's look, so I liked most of Vivienne's look. She had like the bodysuit and she had these like really nice wings. The thing I didn't like was the hair. Like this really horrible shortcut hair in like this sort of like green, like really dark green that I don't know, for me it just didn't look right with the rest of the look, but the rest of it was beautiful. Shea Coulee came out as like sunflowers, really pretty. Raja went full on like laser light show, which was just amazing to see. Jinkx did a witch being burnt, but she said she wanted to rewrite the that's hard to say. Rewrite the narrative of a witch being burnt at a stake and show that the flames don't hurt her. So she had this really beautiful white dress that had, light effect flames come onto it, and she would be laughing as she walked down the stage because obviously, they're trying to burn her alive, and she's like, it doesn't bother me. That was really nice. What did Monet do? Oh, Monet tried to do sort of like a constellation look. It was very elegant, looked very nice. I did enjoy that. It was very beautiful. And Jaida was a mermaid. And honestly, I mean, most of them, pretty much all of them, to be fair, they looked beautiful with the lights off and the lights on. And I think that's important because it's one thing to be able to do these looks and have them look great with the lights off, but for them to still look really good with the lights on, that is brilliant. So I don't know who's going to make it to the end. So next week we've got the essential, they're calling it a variety show, so it's essentially like a talent show, I'd imagine. And it's interesting that for the All Winners season, they're still doing that, but they've done it pretty much as the last challenge rather than the first challenge. Because usually in All Stars, you come in, you do the like variety talent show right at the start, so you can sort of all show what you're doing. I wonder if part of it's because of the fact that they know the queens were going to be there right to the end, so they're like, yeah, we're going to kind of do it right to the end and just be like, oh yeah, last episode, show us what you can do sort of thing. Whereas in normal All Stars, obviously the queens get eliminated each episode, so you kind of want them to be able to come in, show what it is they do / they're known for right at the start, just in case they're not there after that day, maybe. I mean, it's one of those things. Sometimes queens do talent shows that aren't something they do, but they're like, I wanted to show a different side to me, and it's like, but the whole idea of the talent show is essentially you show what you do. You show what, like, if someone's going to come to your show, what are they going to see? And so, like, when queens do something they don't usually do and they end up in the bottom, it's like, well, it's not, because, like, Trinity K. Bonet, I'm sure if you go to a Trinity K. Bonet show, she's not stood there trying to do stand-up. I think Trinity should have come in and done a lip sync. Yes, it's kind of like that thing where it's like, oh, a drag queen doing a lip sync, revolutionary. But if that's what she does, you know, if she did it well enough, she probably wouldn't have been in the bottom for that episode. You know, it's just one of those things, isn't it? You've just got to do what... I don't know, the whole point of it is you go in, you show what you can do, and if you're not doing something you usually do, you're not showing what it is you can do. I've seen numerous posts from Trinity asking how people feel about the new format, about like the blocking, and if people would like to see that in future seasons. Personally, I'd love it. I would be happy if we cut down the size of an All-Stars cast to 8 queens, and we're like, it's 8 queens because you're going to be here for the whole season. You know, do the star system again and just be like, yeah, each week you can earn a star. It gets to the end and like the top 4 or whatever lip sync for the crown. I'd be happy with that. I would love to have more opportunities for the queens to be able to show what they can do. You know, someone like Jiggly, she came back for All-Star 6. She was safe in the talent show. And then the next episode, it was a sewing challenge. And Jiggly, bless her, is not a seamstress, she's not a designer sort of thing. And that was the episode she went home on. But Jiggly, I can imagine, would have done really well in something like an acting challenge. Or, you know, if there were a lip sync challenge, something like that. I think she would have done really well in that. So it would have been nice to have someone like Jiggly have that opportunity to be able to go right all the way through and see how she does in all these different challenges, and essentially show people, look, she may not be good at sewing, but look, she's great at this thing. This is what she does. Because, you know, when you've got the eliminations and things like that, that's not how it works. And, you know, you could still have, like, the robbed queens, because, you know, if they're in the bottom, if they've been doing well and then they're in the bottom a few times, they'd potentially still get blocked, and therefore, you know, still potentially not make it to the end because they were blocked. But we would still get to see what they would, you know, how far they'd get. Someone like, so people like Manila, Pangina, Jimbo, you know, these queens that, to be fair, played the game and it bit them in the butt. But, you know, if they'd had that opportunity, they still probably would have made it to the end. And that would have been so great to see. But we'll see. I don't think they will keep this. I think if they do keep it, they'll make it so it's an all winners only thing. But I personally would love to see it. I think, you know, a normal season, keep the eliminations, but then maybe for an all-star, any all-star seasons, have it for the block, so then at least people get to show, you know, everything all the way through. And that way, you know, these queens spend a lot of money on things like their outfits. So, you know, it would be nice for them to at least be able to show all the outfits that they've got. Because, you know, you often see a lot of it. Like, especially someone like Kimora Hall, you know, you see her outfits throughout her season that she didn't get to wear because she was the first out, even though she was in, what, 3 episodes, right? Because there was the lip sync episode, the episode with the losers, and then the episode where they all joined, where she went home. But, you know, there were so many good looks that she didn't get the chance to wear, and it would have been nice to at least be able to have her show those, you know, on, you know, I don't know, just my thought. Let me know down below, who are you rooting for? Would you like to see the format change to this? So we have blocked rather than eliminated. Only for All-Stars though, I think. Things like All-Stars and like the Versus the World series, I think. Not normal seasons. I think normal seasons need the eliminations. But yeah, I mean, would you be happy with that, or do you want them to keep the eliminations? Let me down below. Let me down below. Let me know down below. And I will see you lovely people next time. Bye.